Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Lucretia. Hello, hello. How are you? Good to see you. I worked today. I worked at a different rec center though because they're working on our pool, and apparently they aren't quite done because I got a message. I was supposed to go in at 5:15 in the morning. And I'm not a morning person, y'all. I go in sometimes at that time, but I'm not a morning person. I'm just not. So it changed to 9. Now I'm going in at 9 because he said the pool's it's not done. It's not quite done. So yeah. Will not be open right away. I'll keep you posted. So yeah. Hey, Brenda. Hello, hello. And so I worked just from 1 to 4 today at a different rec center in it was a little bit of a drive to Littleton. So yeah. And I got Culver's. I never got this before, and I'm full, you guys, because I ate before work. I didn't go into work till 1. I made quesadilla again and used up that chicken that I grilled. That was really dry. It was nice to grill. It's nice to grill sometimes in the winter. I do that, but I cooked them too long and it was dry, so I put it in my quesadilla. And so I ate before, so I didn't really eat at work. I brought some quesadilla to work in case I got hungry, and I didn't get hungry. So then I decided. Then one of the next lifeguards. Oh, and I saw a girl from the people from my rec center are working there because we can't work this week because our pool is broke. Our pool is being worked on. So I saw another one from my pool that I usually work at, and then some other lifeguards brought in Chick-fil-A because they'll often bring food in, and then when they're off the stand, they're eating, and so he had Chick-fil-A, and I was like, I think I'm getting hungry. So I searched and I found this place. The problem is I got this. Yeah, this is the place. I got this frozen hot cocoa. It was really like a milkshake, and that filled me up. And onion rings. They have good onion rings. So I have a couple onion rings left, but I had some onion rings. I got off at 4. I went to Culver's. I had some onion rings, and I had that cocoa, and I'm really pretty full. So I have this burger, and I have a knife to cut it in half. But first, I'm gonna light the candle. Gonna light the candle. Be the light this season. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. So red's followers are called flames. red flames. And if you're new here, I'm Redheaded Writing Hood, writing with a W. I just write. I write poetry. I'm writing my sort of memoirs. I mean, I haven't really started on it technically, but I write in my journals all the time. I was sorting through my journals. Yeah, I need to. This is an old one I was looking at yesterday, but I have a ton of journals. Oh, that's right. I have a video I was going to put up. I could put that up right now. So I'm a poet, I'm an author, I'm a musician. I escaped from Georgia in 2020 in the middle of the pandemic. My ex was somewhat abusive, but he wasn't always physically abusive. He was like mind games. So I got out of it's worse in a lot of ways because other people don't recognize it, and they're like, "What? You're not abused? What? He's such a nice guy. What? That person's not a bully. They're such a nice guy. But he's so wonderful." No. You guys. So anyways, that's a little bit of my backstory. I traveled in my RV for a year. So I got involved with the van life RV travel community on here. Now I'm in a totally different group of people, which is wonderful. And yeah, so that's me. I play the flute. I need to practice more, but I'm going to play a little something. So this is my squishy ball. I shall call you Squishy, and you shall be mine, and you shall be my squishy. So last week, these girls, well, they weren't little girls. They were about, 11 or 12. They were playing in the lap lane. And so I decided to be kind of funny and cute. I didn't really want to get onto them, but if you're in the lap lanes, you need to swim laps. So I went over there and said, "Just keep swimming." No, I didn't say it like that, but I was like, "Just keep swimming, girls, because these are the lap lanes." Okay? No messing around in the lap lanes. Just keep swimming. Little Disney advice. These are my bubbles. I love bubbles. Yeah. And that came about because I hope I didn't get bubbles on my food. Because I put so much Dawn dishwashing soap down my potty in my RV that I had bubbles coming out of the top. And it was fun. It was funny. I have cinnamon tea. This is good. Good stuff. How's everybody doing tonight? Gracie, I've looked through all my email and I can't find it. I need to look again. So Gracie, if you could please send me your snail mail address again so I can send you this book. Really great little devotional. It's Redheaded Writing Hood with a W and one T. Okay. I'm going to pray and I'm going to eat a little part of this hamburger. I don't know. It's like the thing about burgers is they don't like really, maybe I'll be able to take it apart and like heat up the bun in the burger part, because you can't heat up it's got all this good stuff on it. It's got all the lettuce and tomato and everything. It's got cheese on it. My goodness. I'm going to pray. I'm going to try it. Dear Lord, thank you for this food and all the good things you give us. Please bless Lucretia and Brenda and Alex. See, I can pray for everybody when it's this early in the live. Hi, Alex. How are you? Thank you for this food. Please bless my children and my grandchildren. I pray that you would bless them, protect them, be with them, heal them if they need healing, that they would know you are real, Lord, and that you love them, that they would know I love them. Thank you that I'm going to Philly for Christmas. Please give me a safe trip and give my son Ian a safe trip and help us have a good and safe time there at Christmas and safe travels. I pray. Thank you for this food. Thank you for my job, Lord. I'm so thankful for my job. Thank you for water. Lord, I love water. I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. I love heated pools. Hi, Chris. How are you? I'm just going to, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. You guys, I know it was really slow, but how I lost weight, how I lost 30 pounds in 3 years is I ate what I want. I just ate less. I just ate less, and I always exercised and hiked. Like when I was at Klamath RV Park, which I loved. That was my favorite place. I really loved the Oregon coast too. But when I was at Klamath, it was 2.5 miles to the beach, walk to the beach. So I would do that every other day. So I do 5 miles every other day. But it pretty much took me 3 years. I lost 30 pounds, but I would go like up and down a lot. When I was happier, I would lose more weight. So I'm definitely happier now, so I should keep losing weight, right? I think I will, but I'm not going to rush myself. There, look, I cut it into, I cut it in half, and then I cut this half in half because I can't eat that. I can't eat all that. I have my Prince shirt on, see. I'm about to tell you a funny story about how my house ended up purple. Purple rain, purple rain. This is a good burger. Never ate at this place. It just came up on the search. So I know this would be even better if it was hot, but it's kind of cold now. I got it about 4:30, and it's 6:17 now. Want to hear something awesome? I called Lenny back last night after my chiropractor appointment, and we were talking for 4 hours. I can't call in my apartment. I have bad phone reception. It's ridiculous. A Converse? Do you mean this one? This is Culver's. I don't know what Converse is. There's another really good, it's supposed to be really good burger place in Denver, but I don't think I've ever been to it. I like Red Robin. Does anybody like Red Robin? Or pickle? I'm eating the other fourth. I will eat the other fourth. Yeah, you mean this one. Okay. I don't think I've ever heard of them. I don't know. So tomorrow maybe I'll try to heat up just the top bun in the burger, but I'm full. And I have 2 onion rings. But so what was called, it just looks so good. You know, you shouldn't go shopping for groceries when you're hungry. Hey, Lucretia. Hi. And you shouldn't go to get fast food when you're really, because I got this frozen hot cocoa and it was delicious. It was delicious, but what it amounted to was it was a shake. It was like a ice cream shake. And so like I'm full, so I'm putting this away. Fast food just doesn't reheat well, but anyways, I'm full. I'm full, and I'm done. I shouldn't have a shake, but anyways. But I just feel like that's why I was able to keep losing weight, is because I didn't deny myself what I wanted. I just tried to eat less of it. I don't usually eat until like 12 or 1 o'clock. So I kind of do the intermittent fasting, but I just do it the way I want to do it. I did it my way. Took me 3 years though to lose 30 pounds, but I'd like to lose 30 more, but faster maybe, but I don't know. I might not do it faster because I allow myself the cheats. I allow myself the cheats. I got this cup that says "Be the Change." I love this tea. And this is the brand to get because I got, what did I get? I'll show you the other kind I got, but it's not, I don't know if I'll ever finish it because it's not as good as this kind. And they don't have this kind at the King Supers. So I was at the King Supers, right? So I got this kind. Cinnamon, spice. But this kind is so much better. It's so much better. So, y'all want to hear the story about how my house ended up being purple? It's a funny story. I think when that happened, I think it must have been 2015 or early 2016. So, so I was still living in the house with my ex, and we were, my friend Sam is live. Paper Crane of Hope is live. I shouldn't tell y'all. Go watch. No, let me put it on. She doesn't go live that much, so that's why I'm like, I think she just had her first live recently. Okay, she has somebody on there. Sharing. I'm live and I'm sharing out someone else's live. Go and watch this replay later, you guys. I'm trying to. It's a popular night to go live, isn't it? Is it? I don't know. Paper Crane. It's called Paper Crane of Hope. I can't watch right now. I don't even want to say, I'm not even going to say, I'm not going to say that I'm live. I don't want to say. Yeah, I didn't even share out my own live yet, but I will. I will share out my own live now. I just shared out Sam's live and I'm live myself, so that's kind of silly. But I did. I did it. I don't care. And also, I'll put also I'm live. I'm live. I ate half my hamburger. I'm full. That's enough for me. Thanks. I'm full. My kids used to watch these Veggie Tales, and that's a quote from there were brothers Jerry Gorg, and they were squashes actually. Jerry Gorg and Larry Gorg or something like that. No, Larry was the cucumber. Jerry and something. I don't know. Jerry Gorg. What's his channel about? Sam, it's her. I'll drop the link. I will drop the link. It's she talks about INFJs, and she's a counselor, and she leaves paper cranes of hope for people. She's in Australia. If you look on my channel, I have an interview with her. Copy. Okay. Paper Crane of hope. There you go. Yeah, she has a good channel. And she wasn't, I think she got monetized recently, I think. Or she might not be monetized yet, I'm not sure. But I met her on Instagram. Yup. So how is everybody doing? I'm good. So yeah, I was feeling kind of, I guess I had a really, I Thanksgiving, that was a really, really high. You guys, I'm sorry, but it was, it was, I don't know if you guys fully understand this, but, yeah, I got her to take the bully to take her video down, and that was just wonderful. So like I had a high, and so I was kind of just, and then I wasn't working because I'm working on the pool, and I really like my job. You guys, I really like my job. And so, and like, also, I'm not making any money when I'm not working. It's not like I have vacation saved up. I'm not full time. What is WebRoot doing? What is WebRoot anyways? I don't know. I'm sorry. We'll pray for you. Dear Lord, please be with Lucretia and comfort her in her pain, Lord. I pray that you would help her, give her wisdom, and even maybe she'll find new ways to manage her pain, Lord. I know that she's a big researcher and all that, but maybe there's something else that you have for her, Lord. I pray that you would just guide her and be with her. God, give her doctor's wisdom, and just please be with her. And I pray that you would ease her pain, Lord, and help her manage it. I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. William Brody. Hi. Hello. Yeah, I went over to Roy and Becky's today, and I was like, I really, I kind of need to go get ready for work, because I was going to have to drive, it's a little ways. Where I work is closer because it was this other pool. And I was like, oh gosh, I haven't been to Roy and Becky's in so long. And they just, went, they were going live when Roy was having having the problem with the nosebleed and the high blood pressure. And then, and then he had another one. And so he wasn't, I didn't even know that. So I was really glad I went, because I didn't know, I was like, I need an update. So I went in there, yeah, even though I didn't really have a lot of time. And then I was just like, okay, I'm just going to listen while I get ready for work. So yeah, I was glad I went over there. And I think, yeah, if you were wondering why, you saw my name, I was like, William's going to think I'm ignoring him, but I'm not saying hi to him because I was getting ready for work. So that's that. So it's good to see you, William. Thank you. And I'm sorry, I wasn't being rude. Because I was hearing them say hi to people, and I'm like, I really don't have time to say hi to anybody, because I said, I'm just going to listen. I'm going to, I let it play while I made my quesadilla and then got ready for work. I ironed my shirt. My shirt always seems to be, my shirt for work, my lifeguard shirt, always seems to be a little wrinkly. It needs to be ironed. But anyways, so you want to hear about how my house ended up purple? So this is when I was going through my separation and divorce. And my separation lasted 4.5 years. And 2 of those years I lived with my ex. So this was when I was living with my ex, and he really dropped the ball on renting out this house that I eventually ended up moving into, and then getting it in the divorce, our smaller house, that we were living in it. It was our first house. We bought it. I was expecting our oldest son. 1990, we bought it. And then in 1999, he started, we had like all our babies though when we were living in that house. You know, we had my oldest son in 1990, then my younger son in 93, my middle daughter in 96. Is that right? Yeah, 96. And then my youngest in 2001. And I thought it was going to get him to hurry up and get done with the house, but we still didn't move into the big house, and it still wasn't done. He started it in 1999. Guess what, y'all? It's still not done. 24 years he's been building this house. Well, he's been not building it a long time. Now I think he's been not building it longer than he was building it. But anyways, and we had some contractors, but none of, just like his wife, none of his contractors were good enough. He couldn't stand them, and it was needless to say stressful. I never wanted to build a house. I never want to build a house again, really. Here's this web root thing. What? I don't even know what this thing is I have on my computer. Scanning your system and analyzing hardware. What is this? You guys. Okay. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in, William. Yeah, that's what I was doing at Roy and Becky's. I was like, just wanted to be supportive. What did you say, Alec? Oh, she is monetized. Okay. I wasn't sure. I used to think everybody that had over 1,000 was monetized. Oh, okay. You were not supposed to tell her I was live too, Alec. Shh, Alec, don't tell. It's okay. I didn't want to pull anybody away from hers. Okay, so that's how you tell she has the money thing. And okay. Thanks for the info. No, it's all right. It's all right. I almost said it myself, but then I'm like, no, I'm not going to say that. I don't want to pull anybody away from there. But no, but because she has hi, Ivan. No, I think you were right what you said the first time, because if she has super chats, then she must be monetized. Yeah. Do you know that they don't make you get, after you get monetized, they don't make you get 4,000 watch hours again every year. They don't make you. So, like, because otherwise a lot of people would get me demonetized. Like the bullies I was talking about, they didn't get 4,000 watch hours the second year. They were monetized, you know? And they only got their watch time because like people put on their playlist and went to sleep. I'm sorry. That just sounds, it's bad. You know, of course they went to sleep. It's boring as heck. You know, and that's the point. Like you're supposed to watch, it's supposed to be watch hours. It's not supposed to be boring. I don't know. But I'm I'm being sarcastic, I guess. I'm being sarcastic again. Super chats and super stickers. So they changed it now, so you can get members. It used to be 1,000 subscribers and then 4,000 watch hours. And now they're going to let you have members if you have 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. I was past, so like last year I was past 3,000 watch hours. And because of the bullying and how stressed I was, I stopped going live every week and only went live once a month. Yeah, my Christmas tree, and it only has lights on it right now because well, some of my decorations are right here. I got these. But it only has lights on it so far. I'm going to see my daughter and my grandbabies for Christmas, and my son Ian's gonna be there, so I'm so excited. And he texted me yesterday. I'm so excited. Yeah, and like the way I have my computer, it looks like my little wolfie is on the top of the tree. That's what was that you that was saying that? Someone was saying that. Maybe it was Pam. Someone was it was Brenda or Pam, I think, that noticed that. It's like, my little wolfie is on the top of the tree. But anyway, so my house, my purple house, I had been renting to friends. I told you about when I threw my back out and I pinched a nerve in my neck, was when I was helping this one abused single mom move into my house. And she was one of the good ones because she was the ones who said, I found two types of renters that we would always get. And I began to think, I wasn't superstitious, but I began to think, like, what's with this house? It's like, is it bad luck or something? Like, we had good years in the house. Like I said, 4 of my 5 children were born when we lived in that house, and it was brown when we first when we bought it. It was like red too. It was like a red. It was like this. It was like a barn red, reddish brown. Yeah, and it was I think I could show you a picture of it. But I have trouble because I still don't have a mouse working, y'all. But my laptop is touchscreen, and that's why I can do anything. But my I don't know if I can go down far enough for you to see, but anyways, my touch mouse is not working. I think maybe I could get one that I could plug in and would work. But because of that, I'm having a harder time with things, with sharing on StreamYard and stuff. So, but anyways, so first I had the woman getting away from her ex that was abusive, and because he found out where she was, and she was in the house for a few months. It could have been 6 months. I'm trying to think. I don't know. And she gave me my little dog that I didn't mean to have a dog, but I had her for 6 years, and she was a godsend. I really needed her. Her name was Bandy, and I just ended up calling her Boo. So everybody on social media thought her name was Boo because she was my boo. Oh, I'm gonna cry. I have a video with Boo. I put it in like the first, it's like one of my first videos. So it's in Georgia, and that's at my house. And it was just very peaceful and nice. I had a back porch and a yard and everything. And that's what I'm thinking about right now. If I'm gonna buy a place here in Denver, and there's lots of nice little houses. I don't know if I can afford them really because I don't want to get something too expensive. Um, and they're high right now. So I would love to I would love to have a yard because I love having a garden. But I'm not sure still if I'll find something now. It depends on if I find something. Um, if I find something that's right for me, I guess. And I could probably hire someone. I got on the first floor on purpose because I didn't want to move into a second floor apartment. And I had all my furniture. I didn't have any furniture when I moved in here. So my furniture was all delivered and moved in for me. Right. So, but if I move in February, there's a possibility, there could be ice or snow. And so I could stay until August and wait. And I still feel like eventually I'm going to end up in California, like my parents did. My parents moved to Florida, and then we moved to Texas, and I went back to Florida because my ex was there, and then married my then husband, and then we moved up to Georgia, and then we had, like I said, we bought that house, and we had our four of our 5 kids in that house. So, but I began to think, like, why everybody that moves in the house, they end up divorced, and like we can't afford the rent anymore. And then the good, honest people are like, okay, we can't afford this rent anymore. We're moving out. And then other people are like, we can't afford the rent, but we want to stay. And I'm like, that's a problem. And my ex was resistant to it. He didn't want to evict anybody. Oh, that costs too much money and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, we're losing, we're losing $800 a month. Like, I'll just let them stay there as long as they want, Yeah. My ex is a bit of a codependent. Like, we were both codependent, like on he has addictions in his family. So he was both with the narcissistic traits, not diagnosed. Most narcissists don't get diagnosed because they don't think they have a problem. They don't go to the doctor to get diagnosed. So anyways, so he has narcissistic traits, but he's also codependent, like me, and enabling people. And so he let the people stay in there. And so it got where it needed work. And then like we're separated, probably getting divorced. I'm trying to find a job, but I'm trying to manage the property because he's not doing it. And so I got these 2 friends. The first one, they both were named Jessica. Funny, but they both were named Jessica. And the second one, she was with her husband still, but then they broke up when they got in the house. They broke up later, and then she didn't want to move out, and I needed to move in, and oh gosh, it was a mess. But when the second Jessica was in the house, I did get find some painters, and they weren't very good painters though. But anyways, I got some painters, And what I think they did is we decided, and I even let her, she loved the house. That's why she just wanted to stay there, even though like then her husband left her. She didn't have a job. She was looking for, we applied for some of the same jobs. And I'm wondering if she got, like, I applied at a baker. I applied for so many jobs, you guys, anything and everything. I applied at a bakery. I forgot about that one. I applied where I gave blood plasma. But I really don't think I was going to like that job. I wouldn't like poking people. I wouldn't like I wouldn't like doing that. I would not like doing that. I mean, the other parts of the job, I guess, talking to people and meeting people and stuff would be fun. But I applied there. I didn't get that. I had an interview. I had an interview at both those places. Some places I didn't even get an interview. IHOP, I had an interview at IHOP. Didn't get it. Restaurants. I applied at the pool, and that's when that person told me, like, you can't have tattoos and work here. Well, fine. I'll just go to Colorado then. So, it's all over where I'm located. I'm in Denver, Lucretia. You didn't know that? It's on some of my thumbnails too. I'm in Denver. Denver, it's a big place, so you really don't know exactly where I am. Although I might have said where I worked. But that's not the city where I am. And my P.O. box is also on my. You have snow. I show everybody. I've been showing everybody like every day how much snow is left. It's going away. It's going away. It is cold out there now. This little spot is getting smaller and smaller. Can you see that spot of snow? It's pretty much gone. It's like there's little bits and pieces of snow. Little bits and pieces. We get snow like since I've been here. God knows I love snow, right? So since I've been here, it's been snowing in October. But usually then it melts and then it'll snow again. Like that. So, but yeah. My P.O. box is in Highlands Ranch. If you look on my About page, if you want to send red snail mail, if you want to send me an email, the email's down there. And if you want to send me a snail mail, my P.O. box is I got tired of traveling in my RV, Lucretia. I did it for about a year, and when I was in the house a little bit, like a month at my brother's, when I thought my electric was having a problem, but it wasn't my electric. It was my brother's house. My RV, he had a little house, which he kept and he moved into after his wife died. He had a little house. He sold the big house for almost $1 million. So my brother's little house would trip. Yeah, it would trip up the RV. It would trip up the house. It would go, electricity would go out. If you look at my old videos, you'll see some of those. And then like one time I wanted to go. This is annoying. I'm trying to copy my address. Well, nobody wants to send me snail mail anyways, right? Send me an email. Never mind. I'll quit messing with that. We will be having a ton of snow in Cascades. but just rain in Eugene. I never sent snail mail. That's fine. Maybe someday I'll get gifts. Lindy gets all these things in her snail mail. We were talking for 4 hours last night, and I was in the parking lot down the street because I don't get good phone reception in my apartment. I do better with FaceTiming people because that uses the internet. I think that's why. But usually if I'm on the phone, I'll have to walk out of my apartment. And since I was, Lindy called me on my live yesterday when I was live, and because I'm in my apartment right now, I couldn't hear her anyways. And so I sent her a text and said, I'm live and I'll call you back. What did I say to her? I'll call you back later. I'm live now and I have to go out of my apartment. I have bad connection in here. So I don't have a bad internet connection, thankfully. Yeah, the traveling, I didn't like I also didn't like driving my RV was 31 feet. And I had everything I owned, though, in my RV, and I was thinking of moving out to California then. I was thinking of staying by my brother, but that didn't work out because of a number of things, but mostly I was really closer to my sister-in-law than I was to my brother. And when she passed, and I'm also closer to my niece, who's now in Oregon, actually. My niece is in Oregon, and then my son went to Oregon. After I was here a year, he had quit his job, and he didn't really like it. He wasn't finding anything else here, and my niece said, why don't you come here? So he moved to Bend, Oregon. So yeah, that could be my next move too. I could actually move there, but I feel like I'm going to eventually end up in California. So my parents were in Florida and then Texas, and then they moved back to California in 1995. We moved to Florida in 1979, and then they moved to Texas in 1984, and they stayed there like 10 years. And then they moved back to, Bend is beautiful. I feel like it's prettier here, but Bend is beautiful too. But neither of them have a beach. And I'm a mermaid and I want a beach. And next year, I'm going places I want to go. Because last year I went to courtside. I mean, this year, it was this year. It still was this year. This year I went to courtside and I went to Texas. It was okay, but it was nice to people I met. Because I met like Crystal and LaGringa. I met Brenda Berner. I met Lindy. That was the first time I met Lindy in person. I had met Carol at her meetup in California in 2022. But then I went to courtside to Carol's meetup. It was a Glorious Life on Wheels meetup. So yeah. So next year I'm going places I want to go. Who wants to hear where I'm going? I'm going to tell you anyways. I'm going to the Switchfoot Getaway. Hopefully it won't be sold out. It's not until June. I'm going to the Switchfoot Getaway, which is in San Diego. I went to that in 2018. Yeah, 2018. And that was when I started thinking, like, I want to move here. I love San Diego. And yes, beach. Oh, you don't have one. You have one on a lake, maybe? So, yeah. So I'm going to the Switchfoot Getaway. That's in June. Then I'll probably drive up the coast. I'll probably go see Lindy, and I'll probably drive up to Oregon and see my son and see my niece. So I'm also, my nephew's in by my brother, but I was closer to the women, excluding my sister. I was closer to the women in the family. I was much closer to my mom than to my dad. My dad had the narcissistic traits, and I'm much closer to my sister-in-law than my brother-in-law, and I'm much closer to my niece than to my nephew. So I don't know. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. So yeah. So anyways, how my house ended up purple. So I got these painters, and I think it was either the end of 2015 or the beginning of 2016. I moved in the house in August of 2016. Yeah. Yeah, you're not too. How far are you from the ocean? Yeah, my friend Paul's Blind Soup for the Soul moved to Oregon from Illinois, and he loves it. Illinois. I lived in. My address was Illinois for a while, and I would sometimes say it wrong. Illinois. I'm not from the Midwest, and I don't really want to live there ever again. I would be East Coast or West Coast, but West Coast is the best coast. That's Red's opinion. I love the West Coast. Yeah, that's not too bad. We were actually pretty far from the beach when we were in Sunland. We were in, yeah, and my brother's like an hour. Well, they would usually go up to Ventura, and it was about an hour away from Santa Clarita. Oh, really? Yeah, it's not far from. We went into my daughter and I in May when I was there to see my grandbaby and my Claire Bear. We went into the city to see Wicked because it was like a bucket list item for me. But we rode the train, which was a mistake, and it made us late. But I really didn't want to drive into New York City, but I went through Florence before, yeah. I went through there, yeah. I went to the Oregon meetup in 2021. I have those. You guys watch my old videos, you guys. They're very interesting. And my bullies that were my friends before they were my bullies are in my videos. I'm in their videos. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. So it's interesting. Yeah, I went to the first. What is this thing coming up? Yeah, we went into New York City too when my daughter got married, because she got married in Philly up by his family. And we went into New York City and went through Central Park, and we went and got Chinese, and we rode on the train, and all the lights were it was December, right after Christmas, so all the Christmas lights were up. It was pretty. It was pretty. So yeah, I was in the St. Louis area on the Illinois side when I was traveling in my RV. And when I escaped from Georgia in 2020, that's where I went up to the Illinois area where my friend had moved, and she she was or is still, I'm not sure if she was about to get out in the Air Force, and she was at Scott. So yeah, I went up there, and I was gonna help her do Airbnb, but she didn't end up doing that because she asked permission and they said no. You can't do that. So yeah, so I was based with her, and I was going to move by my brother, and I went to my brother's, and my sister-in-law was ill because she was in stage 4 breast cancer, and she passed a month after I got there. I got to California in December, like December 9th or December 10th, and then she passed away January 9th. So, and then I went back to St. Louis. I flew and left my RV on my brother's property. I went back to St. Louis for a month, and that was when I started going live too. March 2021. I have my live 2021, the year in review, and that is incidentally when I did it in November 2021. Incidentally, which was simultaneously, and I knew I was so stressed out about it. And here I am trying to not talk about it. And the bully was over there doing his live about me to bash me and acting all nice about it. But yeah, see that on I need watch time. I'm at you have to get your watch time within a year, y'all. Some of you don't realize that. You have to get it within a year. So it goes back to 11/30/2022, right? Let's see. Sub request. I have to get extra. Hey, Gracie, did you get my message? Gracie, I need your address because I can't find the email. Did maybe a letter was wrong? This is it right here. I'll put it in the chat too. My email is redheadedwritinghood, because I need your address because I'm going to send you this book. Redheadedwritinghood at gmail.com. I'm going to look this time because I didn't look before when you said it. And then when I went and looked, I couldn't find it. But so good to see you. Thank you for being here, Gracie. I'm gonna open it up. So can you try sending me your address again? Let me see if I can find it. Gonna look again. I get so many emails, so let me look again because I didn't know if it got buried or, and then I looked in, let's see, more. What do I want to look at? Am I visiting Denver? I was looking up things to do. What I think I'd like to do is go on one of these tours to go into Rocky Mountain National Park. I still haven't been in there, and I think I'd like to go. So I was looking at tours, so now they're sending me emails. Yeah. So I can't find it. So let's try it again so I can send you this. Okay. So where was I? Gotta not look at my phone. I don't need to look at my phone. I don't need to look at my phone right now. I need to stop doing that. So I was telling the story. I chased a lot of rabbits. I chased a lot of rabbits. Sorry. Just warning you. Just warning you. I chase a lot of rabbits. So Jessica and I were talking about what color to paint the house. It's my house though. And I didn't know at that point, like first when I found a lawyer, it was 2015. I don't know if that point I had found a lawyer yet or not, but my lawyer ended up being shady and then I had to fire them and find another lawyer. That's a funny story too. Maybe I'll get to that one too. After I tell my purple house story. So, okay, let me look. Okay, I don't have it yet. Let me look in the spam. Okay, I got it. It was in the spam, but I got it. Yay. Thank you. Report. Okay, this is what I want to do. It was report not spam. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now I'm in the wrong box. Okay. I moved it out of my spam. Okay. All right, thank you. Hopefully I can get that to you. Yes, I got it. Thank you. Perfect. So I'm still drinking my cinnamon tea. So I got these painters that weren't too good. I got these painters. All right. Good night, Lucretia. So I got these painters that were using a sprayer, and me and Jessica decided the house was going to be gray, kind of like a blue gray, but we both liked purple, and the door was going to be like a lavender, like a pastel purple, right? So that's what we decided. And I went to Lowe's. Yeah, it was Lowe's, and picked out the paint, right? Well, these painters put it in the sprayer, and I think that it had some other paint in the sprayer before it, and it was like a blue gray, right? And so Jessica texts me and says, and I was living in the big house with my ex, only we were separated, in separate rooms. It's like a 5-bedroom, huge 3,400 square foot house. So he moved into the other bedroom. We only had 3 of the kids living with us at that time. Well, sometime in 2015, my daughter graduated, my Claire Bear graduated high school, and she went into the Army. So I'm not sure if it was fall. It was maybe fall 2015, or if it was spring. It could have been spring 2016. So we only had 2 kids living with us, my oldest son and my youngest. And so my ex was in the other bedroom. So So they're spraying the paint on the house, and it's purple. It's purple. It's like a gray, but it's purple. It's kind of like this, like the purple I put on my eyes. So it's purple, right? And this is all going back to Prince too. I'll tie it all together, and you'll get it when I'm all done with my story. So I should make this into a poem. Yeah, I could probably do that. I probably will make this into a poem. And as a matter of fact, a lot of my poems are stories. So, like yesterday, I said a poem about when I was in high school, which was like a story of the guy that was of what my dad, how my dad hurt my mom, and then the guy that was sexually harassing me, and it's a whole story. So, I should do this into a poem. I'll probably get to that. Like I said, when I get my round to it, no, when I get my round to it. So anyways, so they're spraying the paint on, and Jessica's over there at that house. I'm at my house, and she texts me and she's like, it's purple. She's like, you need to come over here and see this. Cause like it's purple. So you need to see if it's okay. Cause it's purple. And I'm like, okay. So I go over there. It was weird because you hold the swatch up and like you'd look at the swatch and it's like it's a blue gray, but you hold it up, it matches the house, but you stand back and it's like, but it's purple. It was weird. It was bizarre. But we both decided, hey, I like purple. You like purple? The door is gonna be a pastel purple. So it'll still go with the door. The house was supposed to be like a blue gray, and then the door was going to be a pastel purple. So yeah. So we both agreed we liked purple. So we let that the painters were laying there. Laying there in the truck, waiting to see if I wanted them to go get a different color. And we were low on funds and everything, so that's how my house ended up purple. And let me look something up, because this was before Prince passed away. I think it was, let me see. Okay, I think it was spring. I think it was 2016, early 2016, because that's when he passed away. And then I said, okay, I was like, in memory of Prince, my house is purple. And then in 2016, I moved into the house. And guess what else, y'all? 30 years, I was married to my husband. 30 years. In 2016. 30 years. Yeah, that's right. It was 2016. We were married 30 years. And what do I do with this day? Well, you know what I do with that day? June 7th is Prince's birthday. Happy birthday, Prince. We love you. May you rest in peace. That's my story. I got lots of cool stories. I want to finish the one about my lawyer, my shady lawyer. Her name is Daniel Dayor Hines in Warner Robins, Georgia. Do not hire Page Publishing. Do not fall for Tomorrow Low either. Beware of wolves, people. These are people that tried to and did swindle me. But anyways, so my shady lawyer, I started telling you guys this. I don't know if I finished the story. So my shady lawyer I fired. She was getting on to me about getting a job. Well, you look like you could work, and I was trying. Like I just told you, guys, I applied at Chick-fil-A, and then my daughter got the job, and I didn't get the job. And I applied at IHOP. I applied at BioLife, where I gave blood plasma. I applied at the cake place, which I think Jessica did better cakes than me. She might have got that job. I don't know. But I got her to get out of my house. I was a real meanie. I needed to get out of my house. And so I got her to get out of my house because it was my house. She told me to, like, can you imagine this? Someone that's renting your house and you need to move into your house. Well, you could get an apartment. And it's like, no, I own this house. Like, get out of my house. I couldn't fathom it. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you really telling me? Are you really standing on the doorstep of my house telling me I should get an apartment? It was insane. It was insane. So anyways, but what happened with my shady lawyer was, I say that I wasn't able to find a regular job. So I started doing Airbnb in my house. I moved in my house in 2016 after I got the second Jessica out. The first Jessica left willingly. She's like, I can't afford to pay you, so I'll move out. And then after the house was painted purple, and Jessica really wanted, she had 2 little kids, so it was difficult. And her husband and her, they were divorcing, and she was, it was a young couple. And so I felt bad, but like she was at my church. And so like I knew my church they would help her and stuff. She was in the group. I met her in the group that I got kicked out of because they lied and said I said something outside of the group. She was in the Celebrate Recovery group I was in, because very codependent like me. Codependents get like, that's why, like, not only do I avoid the narcissist, but I don't want, I'm sorry. And I feel worse about like doing that, but because they're usually nice people, but I don't want to get enmeshed or involved or, with a codependent either, because they're enablers and they usually are appeasing and enabling the toxic people. I mean, and that's what happened in this whole situation I was in with the bullies and then people I thought were my friends, but they were enablers and they were codependent, and they're going along with, they don't want to be put out of the group, And I was thinking today that it's a lot like Peter in the Bible, where Peter was in, he was in the group with Jesus and everything, but then they're crucifying Jesus. And Peter lies. It's like, I don't know them. And that's what, like, these people were like, oh no, we're not friends with Red. Everybody hates her now. No, I'm not going to be friends with you anymore. I don't want to get crucified like Red's getting. Not that I'm anything like Jesus. I wish. I'm trying to be like, I'm just trying to be like Jesus, you guys. I try. But we all fall short. But anyways, so my lawyer, this is the funny thing about my lawyer. So she got on to me about not finding a job, like I wasn't trying hard enough. I even said to my ex, I'm like, oh, you're going to love this, because when I always told him things I shouldn't have told him. I finally, it took me, I don't know, 5-6 years. I still do it sometimes. I still mess up, but telling him things I shouldn't tell him. I'm like, oh, you're going to love this. Because the only thing my ex could had on me really was that, oh, she won't get a job. And it's like, for years, he didn't want me to get a job. You know, he didn't want me to. I had this big old Toyota Sequoia, and he was like, oh, you don't use the gas to go to that minimum wage job, because I'm like, I could get a job in Perry. A friend at school in PTO, parent teacher organization, said I could get this job in Perry. No, don't do substitute teaching. That doesn't make enough money. I really wanted to do that. I mean, everything, he shot it down. And then he says, she won't get a job. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So anyways, my lawyer got on to me about that. And that was why I fired her. And this was the first time I met her. I hadn't even met her. I was talking to her husband all the time. And so that's why I fired her. But then I found out she didn't even put alimony in the paperwork for a 30-year marriage. Like, what the heck, lady? And then it's like, it's going to be more money because it's contested. Well, that was the only thing my ex was contesting, was he was giving me so much other things. Like, I got the smaller house. That was the only thing he was contesting. And she didn't even put it in there. And then she charges us more because he's contesting it because he thinks that's in there, but it wasn't in there. And he's the one that told me too. He's like, it's not in here. And I was like, what? I'm like, yes, it is. And he's like, no, it's not. And so I fired my lawyer. Then I think that was 2016. So this is why my divorce took so long. It took 4.5 years. We weren't divorced until 2018. So 2017, I start doing Airbnb. And I don't even know how I figured this out, but this was hilarious. So she got on to me about, not getting a job and blah, 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 blah. And why can't you get a job? And I was accepted into law school. I was persistent. Have you gone back to these places and found out why they won't hire you? And blah, blah, blah. And she was just so condescending. And she, and I'm like, oh, great. I just recently found out that my ex was a covert narcissist. And I'm like, oh my goodness. What is this, God? I hired a narcissist too. I hired a narcissistic lawyer. And I just hired her because she was a woman and she was in the town that I lived in. And I'm like, well, the town where my ex's big house is not in Warner Robins, but my house that I sold was in Warner Robins. But anyways, so then I'm on Airbnb, right? It was so funny. I'm on Airbnb in Warner Robins because I'm comparing other Airbnbs in Warner Robins to mine. And in 2018 is when I started calling it Red's Airbnb. And so I used to say, my book is going to be called Welcome to Red's, just Welcome to Red's. But when I started writing my second book of poetry, it's called Red. That's when I wrote the Red, Call Me Red poem. And so that's when I started going by Red again. Here and there, people call me Red through the years because that's what they call somebody with red hair. But I hated it. But anyway, so then I grew to like it. So I called my Airbnb Red's Airbnb. But it was around that time, it was early, probably 2018. I did it until 2019. It wasn't a full 2 years because I think I started November 2017. So anyway, somewhere, I'm not exactly sure when it was, but I go on Airbnb. And guess who's doing Airbnb in their house? My ex-lawyer. It was so hilarious. I'm like, oh, really? You're getting on to me about getting a job and then you copy me and get the same job? business. When I started looking at her reviews, you guys, always read people's reviews, especially for something important like that, like choosing a lawyer. Always read their reviews. Yeah, and this is something funny, something interesting too. This is why I know about lawyers and stuff, because lawyers contacted me when Page Publishing tried to sue me, and then I was trying to find a lawyer that would also countersue them. And so when I got the money from selling my house, so this is the timeline, you guys. Separated from my husband, lived in the house with him for 2 years, and then moved into the smaller house, the purple house, in 2016. 2017 and 2018, 2019 is when I did Airbnb in that house. And then 2020, in 2019, end of 2019, 2020 is when I was downsizing, getting rid of all of my stuff. Rats got in my house after I stopped doing Airbnb. I had to get them out. Put my house for sale, sold my house, like I downsized. I made $4,000 on Facebook Marketplace downsizing. And then I paid off all my debt, paid off my car with the cash from selling my house, paid cash for my RV after I left Georgia and went up to the St. Louis area. So, yeah. That's the story. And then, I should look on Airbnb and see if she's still doing it. But it was hilarious. And even one of my guests, my good guests, I was talking before about how I had to get these long-term guests that were toxic and causing problems and were off of Airbnb paying me. And I said, no. I'm going back on Airbnb because, they wouldn't pay me on time and blah, blah, blah. And plus I was just like, no. And so how I got these people out, and then the nursing student was replaced by a better tenant, sort of, I guess you'd call it. I was living in the house and also renting out the rooms in the house. So it was sometimes tricky when you got a guest in your house that you don't jive with, And then I had these 2 long-term guests. And so, but they were replaced. I prayed, and they were replaced by 2 good long-term guests. And one of them was a nursing student. And I hadn't started in time for when she was coming to Warner Robins. And so she stayed at my lawyer's Airbnb before she came, my ex-lawyer's Airbnb, before she came to my Airbnb. And I only found that out because she left her a review. And Caitlin said something about the coffee mix. She's like, I couldn't figure out the coffee. And my son found me a Keurig at the thrift store that I used for my Airbnb, and she could figure that one out. She's like, I couldn't figure out the coffee maker at my other Airbnb. And then I found out, I was like, she had stayed at my home for a week before she came over here to mine. It was so hilarious. You guys. I'm going to say a poem and let y'all go, since I've gone an hour and a half. I haven't even said a poem. This is my first, I might say my red one, my red poem though. This is my first book. If you want a copy of this, you can send me a PayPal, a Cash App, a Venmo of any amount. especially if you're in the United States. Please send more if you're out of the United States, and then email me your snail mail address, and I will send you a signed copy of my first book, 7-Story Treats, from 2015, from around that time when I was so busy looking for a job, writing books, memorizing poems. I was going at it. I really was. I never gave myself enough credit, but I am now. I was busy. I was a busy bee. I wrote a book and published it on Amazon. I memorized these poems. They're the poems you hear me say all the time. Oh yeah. Wait, you know what? Let me look at something. I'll tell you when you're gonna get it, Brenda. I can tell you when you're gonna get it. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow though. Maybe. Let me get the receipt. It will say. See my purse. It will say on the receipt. Okay. Yeah. No, I sent books out. I sent books out to North Carolina, to Alec and Roy and Brenda on the 28th. What day was that? Estimated delivery date on yours says the 4th. It says the 4th. It says Monday. So probably not tomorrow. And it says Roy should get his on Monday also. And same thing for Alec. Monday, the 4th. Good old post office. They're usually right. So I send them book rate to save money. And so a little light book, just this book, because the Raising Hell book is heavier and bigger. It's like, so I sent Brenda these two. Very good books, but this one's like twice as heavy. So yeah, it should get there Monday. But like for a little book, just sending the one is $3.92 for the book rate. So, but I'm glad you're looking forward to getting my book. I'm gonna say my red poem since I mentioned that today. It goes along with what I was talking about. But that's some of my crazy stories that will be in my Welcome to Red's book. Okay. And my Instagram, on all social media, I'm Redheaded Writing Hood. So I'm going to read my poem off my I pretty much got this poem memorized finally. But let me go to Red on IG. There you go. Okay, I'm going to say this poem. It's called Call Me Red. We're always in it. I see it. I face it. I put it on. Scarlet or vermilion or bluish red crimson. Old ladies with hats are winsome. Valentine's, Christmas, cars, leaves of fall, team colors. It symbolizes blood and courage. Come now, let us reason together, says the Lord. Though your sins are like scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they are red like crimson, they shall be as wool. Esau was red, and so was his stew. God didn't choose him, but he chose you. The sea was red, the Israelites went through. I said I didn't love you, but I lied. I thought you knew. I couldn't have put up with all that crap we went through without his love, which ran red. Your cold-hearted rejection cut like a knife. My blood ran red. So I wanted to hurt you too. Why don't we remember the good times? You always focus on the bad. Never speak life to me. So sad. Left me starving for attention and affection. Does anyone think I'm good or fair? I won't live in regret. We were all meant to be. 5 beautiful children, don't you see? The thought of losing you could leave me so brutally blue. But no, just as Taylor said, loving you was riotously red. That's the title poem from my Red Poems. Hey, pre-retirement days, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, so, yeah, and that poem was inspired by, I was in a like narcissistic abuse or divorce group on Facebook, and they were talking about like getting rid of like everything, like all their pictures of their ex, and but it just wasn't like applicable to me. It wasn't applicable to somebody who's been married 30 years and had 5 children with their, their husband that they were divorcing. I'm like, I'm not doing that, and it's like, what do I do with that? That'll always be like part of my life, and it's like, yeah, you move on and press forward, but you learn from the past and you remember the past, and you still care. What a lot of people don't realize about, they say forgive and forget or something like that, and sometimes I think forgive means reconciliation, and it doesn't. You can forgive them and let them go, and God's the only one who's like, he's God. He puts your sins as far as the east is from the west. He forgets them, but we're human. We can't do that. And remembering helps me remember that the next significant other I have in my life is going to be loving and kind and not a narcissist. So remembering that helps me to prevent heartache in my future. And it's the same thing like with the bullies and being involved in that toxic community. And like I said, I don't want to get involved with the narcissistic type of people or the enablers, the people that were I said it. Sorry, I said it. Brown nosing. Is that a better way to say it? Is that a better way to say it? Oh, of course, Fred is horrible. Because you're so awesome and we want to be on your side. I don't want to be around those kind of people that either, neither one of those type of people. Neither one. They're both toxic in different ways, so like I'm super like Red's got ninja boundaries now. No one's getting through my boundaries. No. I like that Meghan Trainor song. My name is no, my sign is no, my number is no. You need to let it go. That was my song because I've been mostly celibate for all the years since my separation, and it's gonna be 10 years since I separated from my husband in February 2024. It's gonna be 10 years. And most all of those years, and the best years, were the years I was celibate and not getting jerked around by, just like, no, not doing that anymore. So yeah, it's good, you guys. God is good. Oh, sometimes what I sing in my head, like I tell you all that I'm singing, like usually worship songs, all sorts of songs though too. I was singing, "Karma is my boyfriend." I was after the thing happened with getting the bully, and now I'm calling the bully's ex. Now I'm calling him the ex bully. I don't know which he is now. Maybe he's the ex bully. I hope he is. I hope he is. Maybe I'll pray for the bully to be an ex bully too. But she's still lying. She's still lying about why she took the video down. But anyways, so yeah, Karma is my boyfriend. Where is he? I don't know where he is. He's not here yet. But anyways, it'll be 10 years. February 2024. Wow. And man, I've learned a lot. Man, have I learned a lot. A lot of hard lessons to learn. Yeah. It's been insane. Y'all gotta watch my lives, watch my videos. You'll learn about all I've been through and all I've learned. And I'm still standing. I always got a song in my head. But the song I was gonna sing you was a CeCe Winans song. You know that song? All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. Your goodness is running after me. Your goodness is running after me. I don't sing it as good as CeCe. I'll drop the link. But I love that song, and I sing that in my head sometimes on the lifeguard stand. It's a really beautiful video too. I'll share it. It's CeCe Winans. I'm going to share it on my community tab too. I have before, but whoops. What'd I do? It's so good. And God is so good, y'all. God is so good. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Your goodness is running after. We sing it in church sometimes. I think that's how you spell her name. Winans, I think. Yes, all day, every day. Right. I just never imagined. My friend who I went out to lunch with on Monday, I was telling her that story, and I don't think she quite understood. Because she prayed with me about the situation that I still need prayer about, and she prayed about that. But I'm like, that's pretty much taken care of, because I wanted her to take the video down, and she took the video down. But the way that happened was just so awesome. So, because I got contacted by the other bully, it didn't want to, he understandably didn't want to bring all this up. And I believe he took his videos down because he didn't want to get sued. And, end of the day, that's what I feel like got them to take their videos down. It wasn't because I was still harassing them, because of the continued harassment. And it's like, I showed you how to deal with harassment through email. I blocked you. That's what you just do. You just block me. She doesn't know how. She's not been harassed. Never been harassed. She's the bully. She's the harasser. And so she says, because of the continuing, that's why she took it down. And like, no, because I said, I'm going to sue you because your ex contacted you, because those two friends, I asked them to contact you. They contacted you. I'm like, can you talk some sense into her? Because if you can't, I'm going to sue her. And, and then she lies again about why she put the video on members only. But anyways, that's all I'm going to say about that. Just FYI, if anybody's watching, they used to be friends with me. I used to love your channel. They commented and commended, there's a great little channel on travel in California, because there's so much awesome things to see in California. And that person commented, "Oh, great. You're the bigger person." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness. How can you be so involved with all of us, both of us, and not see who?" That's what just blew my mind. Always blew my mind. But anyways, God is good all the time. Let me just pray and let y'all go. The next time I'm going live is, I almost canceled this live because I ended up working today, and I wasn't going to work today, but because my pool is being worked on. And but I worked at a different pool. And so the next time I'm going live is Monday. So I hope to see you Monday night. I'm going to pray for everybody. Thank you for sending me that address, Gracie. I hope I will definitely, if not tomorrow, I'll definitely get that sent to you Saturday. Yeah. Dear Lord, thank you for all these YouTube friends and followers. I pray that you would bless them and be with them. Please continue to heal Roy and be with Roy and Becky. And please continue to heal my friend Lori and be with her daughter Helen as she prepares to give birth to Lori's grandbaby. Keep them well and healthy. I pray that you would bless Grace and bless Brenda, be with pre-retirement days. Please bless Lucretia and Brenda and Ivan. Please be with Ivan. Please be with Alec and guide him with the situations and problems he's had on YouTube, Lord. Please help him and guide him in what to do in each situation, Lord. Please bless Chris and be with him. And let's see, who else? Please bless William Brody. I pray you be with him. Thank you for all these people. I pray you be with them and bless them, guide them in their lives. Help us all to remember you and that you love us, Lord, and to seek you with all our heart and soul and mind and strength. Please bless all our children and grandchildren. Lord, I pray you keep my children and grandchildren safe, that you would guide them in their lives, that they would seek your guidance. I pray that they would know you are real and that you'd love them and that I love them. Please bless my trip to Philly for Christmas and my sons, and please bless our time together with Claire Bear and Jared and Freya and Lily. And please bless my daughter's in-laws, and I pray you be with them, Lord. Lord, I pray for my ex. I pray you keep him healthy, Lord, because he is my children's father, and I want you to bless him. And yeah, help me to continue to forgive, Lord, and bless my bullies and my ex-bullies. I just pray they would find peace and happiness, Lord. Pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Again, this is my email below if you want to email me any prayer requests or anything, because I also pray for you guys, during the week. I also pray for you all on the lifeguard stand. I pray on the lifeguard stand. I sing songs in my head on the lifeguard stand. And so, yeah, everybody have a fantastic weekend. Right. Yes. Thank you, Gracie. Thank you so much. I love you all. Don't say that no one cares for you, because I do and God does too. Don't forget to pray for Red, because Red is praying for you. Love you all. Good night.